YouTube, good morning. Good to see you guys. So this video is going to be pretty quick, but I wanted to go ahead and for any of you guys that had questions on how to become a dealer, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a couple of tips. Now, this stuff is going to vary from state to state, but as far as my state, North Carolina, is concerned, I think for the most part, it's going to transfer from state to state pretty much the same. With that being said, let's jump right into it. I think the number one thing that is going to help you guys get a clear understanding of what it's going to take in order for you to get your dealer license in your state, in your county, is to reach out to your license and theft bureau and ask to speak with an inspector. They are the ones that are in charge with doing your inspections and approving the site, and they have a ton of knowledge for you. Honestly, more than I'm going to be able to give you in this video, but I'm going to keep it brief, so stick around and see if there's anything else you can gather in this. The first thing you need to check into and ask yourself is, what kind of license do you want? Do you want a wholesale license or a retail license? So a retail license, you can sell cars wholesale and retail, but you need to have a retail location, where as a wholesale license, you don't have to have a zoned retail location. Finding a retail location can be tough because it's pretty sought after. A lot of people want to get into this business. So if you want to just get your license and start to purchase cars, you might want to go the wholesale route. The only reason that you might not want to go the wholesale route is the only thing you can do with the wholesale license is sell to retailers. You cannot actually sell to a consumer. So that's one hiccup that you would have as a wholesaler. But it's a great way to go ahead and get started buying a couple cars. Maybe you have a friend in the business who can help retail the vehicles for you when you go and purchase them yourself on the wholesale side. The second thing is you're going to need to go do some sort of an online education, which is required in order to get your dealer license. It's typically 12 hours here, and you can find that pretty easily. CIADA is what I use. I think they're nationwide. Really, really cool people there. And like I said, they're also very, very, very educated, and you can call them and ask them a bunch of questions. Their course only costs anywhere from $100 to $300, and they're very informative, and honestly, that's the number one place I would start if I was going to do this whole thing over again. Now, when it comes down to established and approved business locations, that is something that you need to figure out what the zoning is per your county and state. As here in North Carolina, it was B2, then it turned to CG, and I'm sure in every other state they have a different name for what it needs to be, but that is a question that the inspector, more so the inspector, will be able to answer for you than anybody else. And then you need to look for approved properties. Another step that follows this, and you could do this honestly in any order, is you're going to need to actually register and own your business legally. So you'll go on to the IRS, create your business, get your EIN number, and then as far as it is in North Carolina, you need to go ahead and do your articles of incorporation with the state, and it'll be the same way probably for every single state. This is where you get your numbers so that you can pay your taxes accordingly to the government and to your local government, your state. Now, once you've got all these things kind of lined up, you found a location and you decide that you are going to in fact move forward, and the DMV officer has already approved your location, and you've probably signed a lease at this point, and you are 100% committed to having a dealership, then you need to start moving forward and acquire the bond and your insurance. After you acquire your bond and your insurance, and that's something you can also ask your CIADA people about, or whoever you take the further education with. Typically, a lot of people actually are going to come and present their offers, their products to you during the class, whether it's the dealer management system is where you do your deals through, the insurance, the bonds. That class really covers everything, and they have probably a person who is advertising their services at every corner of that class. So really, it's a great place to start, is the class. Once you have everything sorted out together, you'll fill out basically a dealer packet, which they will provide to you in the class, or you could find it online and they will be able to show you where that would be. You're going to fill everything out. Once you have your approved site, your bond, insurance, and everything that is shown on the checklist that they will have provided to you, then you will take that to your local DMV. It has to be a licensed and theft DMV. It can't just be your typical DMV. And you will go ahead and apply for your license, and they'll let you know if you need anything further in order to get it. And typically there's a little back and forth there because they are pretty particular about things being correct, but once you have it, smooth sailing. Now, at some point before the process begins, as far as you submitting your stuff for your license, you will also need to get an inspection from your local DMV inspector, but that is very straightforward. And once you connect with both the DMV inspector and your education class, you should have all the grounds covered as far as the checklist is concerned. And then all you need to do is check the boxes off one by one. After you attain your dealer's license, there's going to be a lot of things that you need to follow suit on, which, you need to make sure every car is inspected if that is required by your state. Show the proper buyer's guides paperwork, which shows whether or not the vehicle has a warranty from the dealer or not. Just kind of educating the customer on what you are actually offering. And from there on out, on a yearly or bi-yearly basis, you basically just maintain compliance and go through a renewal process. So very straightforward. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and drop it down in the chat below, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. I'll also go ahead and put a link for CIADA in the description, because I think they're great and they're very, very affordable. They're honestly, I think, one of the most known education courses, and they do classes every year to just catch dealers up on further education. And they also host events all around the country where they bring dealers together and kind of brainstorm ideas. So I think there's a lot of value in that, and I can tell you it's an amazing business. It's a lot of fun, and I think if you're already familiar with cars and you like cars, then why not pursue it? There's nothing going to hold you here if you don't want to be here. Also, with that being said, I would really appreciate it if you guys could go and check out the rest of the channel. I do plan on dropping a lot of videos in the future, and they might be a little all over the place, from reviews of cars to how I'm running my current dealerships. And the more you guys interact with me in the comments, the more I can bring to you guys, because I had somebody ask me if I could make a video for this, and I'm making the video just for you, buddy. So I hope this helps, and I hope that you're successful in your venture, and I wish you absolutely all the best. I guess other than that, guys, we pretty much covered everything that I can think of off the top of my head. And like I said, if you need anything, if you have any questions, holler at me. I'm always checking the YouTube, trying to make sure I don't leave anybody hanging. But until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, and I really appreciate if you go check out my prior videos and leave some comments. Let me know what you're thinking about it and what direction I can go. I really do film and edit all of these videos myself. I do grab a filmer here and there, but really working on getting somebody who's much more capable than me on the film and editing side, so we can continue to move forward with more quality videos for you guys to really help give you guys some legitimate value. So thanks again for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.